y'all, my name's Megan. I'm a homeschool mom of 2 and welcome to Bold School. I feel like I try to do this pose where I'm like, ha, for video covers sometimes, and I just end up looking like that dinosaur from Jurassic Park that's like, spits poison. I don't know, maybe that is like, is that my spirit animal? Today's video is a collaboration with Shauna from Making Everyday Magic. Shauna is a homeschool mama whose channel includes everything from curriculum reviews to tips and tricks for new homeschoolers. She also has a second channel that really goes through and catalogs her homeschool family's travels and adventures together. Are you guys jealous of that? Yeah, I'm really jealous because it's so cold here. If you're, from around these parts and you know that I comment on that a lot, y'all, it'd be cold. Anyways, I have linked both of her channels down below in the description. Make sure you go check them out. In this video, myself, Shauna, and a really amazing group of secular homeschool creators are going to introduce ourselves. Introduce yourself. My name is Megan. I am a homeschool mom. I was never a cheerleader, can you tell? Victory. Oh, I'm just scaring them away today, I'll tell you that. But yes, you're gonna get to know me a little bit better if you want to after everything you've seen thus far in this video. But really, it's an effort to help you find other creators that really just match your vibe and bring you that homeschool encouragement that you need. Just enlarge your homeschool community, because it's hard to be a secular homeschooler. I mean, really, you guys, they're gonna kick me out of this group and, I'm not gonna have no friends. So I really hope that you guys find some people that you love. I have to, honest disclaimer, all the ladies who are participating in this collaboration are my pals. They're the YouTube channels that I watch. So I really just hope that you guys find some connections. And don't forget to check out everyone in the playlist down below. You guys, I'm gonna get real. This is the second video that I filmed today, and I don't usually do that. I'm not a batch filmer. I just don't usually have the time to do that. And I tried to trick you. I've changed my outfit, right? But this hair don't lie. It's still looking giant. Don't know what to do about it, right? So, I did change my clothes. Still have the same PJ pants and Crocs on. I've had a lot of coffee. It's getting weird. I've been talking to myself for a while. So you just kind of, gonna have to buckle up for this one. I did a really similar video earlier in the year that was also part of a collaboration. It was like a meet the teacher sort of video. I'm gonna link that up above. I think it'll be really fun to see the difference between me at the beginning of the year versus me now. I'm sure that video is way more polished, but I'm looking forward to this one. So let's get into it. Let's do the darn thing. I am also going to tell you that Shauna sent us a list of questions that we are supposed to answer in the process of introducing ourselves to you guys. Now, I'm gonna do something a little bit different that I've never really done, and that is I haven't looked at the questions at all. I'm going to be reading them and answering them, putting my papers on them for the first time ever with you guys. So you're really going to be getting my raw and unfiltered. Well, I will probably filter these answers a little bit, and that's really for y'all because I could talk endlessly, so I'll pare it down. Point is, I just want to give you the most authentic answer that I can, and I just want to edit less, you guys. So I'm going to pull up those questions, and then I'm going to introduce myself. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to pull up. Whoop. What's happening? Okay. Let me pull up this list of questions. All right, I've got it here. Oh, question number 1. This one's easy. Number of kids and what are their grade levels? Well, class, if you were paying attention earlier in the video, then you will know that I'm a homeschool mom of 2. two very witty, very smart, sometimes very rude little girls, one of which is 3 and the other is 7.5. In terms of grade level, we're definitely at that preschool, first grade-ish level. But I will tell you this is that I was a high school teacher for many, many years. And so a lot of the resources that I bring forth on this channel are not only for elementary use, but also for higher grade levels as well. So you might want to stick around for that, you know, or leave because of this. Okay. Question number 2. Why did you start homeschooling? That's a doozy. How long have you been homeschooling and what is your homeschool style? Well, this is actually our 4th year homeschooling, and I would say that our style is definitely an eclectic homeschool style, right? That's like the non-committal way of saying 99% of the time, I don't know what I'm doing, fly by the seat of my pants. We do use structured curriculums on a block schedule style, but we've definitely been leaning more into interest-led student unschooling learning. So don't really have like an exact answer for what our homeschool style is. You know, we're just trying to figure it out. But the reasons for why we homeschool, oif, that's like a whole like doctoral thesis I could write on our reasons for homeschooling. But really it is because I am trying to provide the best, most individualized education for both of my kiddos, neither of which I really saw happening in my experience as a public educator. So, you know, how much time do we have for me to tell you all of the like unbelievable but 100% true stories of things that I saw going on in the public education system that made me opt out when it came to having my own kiddos? So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole too far. You know, I'll leave you in suspense. Ooh. Question number 3, did you have any brick and mortar school experience? Do you have training that applies to homeschool? Well, I've kind of answered that one a little bit there, didn't I? In terms of having brick and mortar experience, the only schooling that either of my kiddos has attended was a Montessori school that my oldest went to when I was a public school teacher. Now, I was a public school educator for 5 years, and I've taught a little bit of everything, but really advanced placement social studies, specifically U.S. history, is my expertise. I have 2 bachelor's degrees, one in history and one in political science. So it's really like my arena, if you will. That's my wheelhouse where I like to operate. I've also taught English and special education. So I'm kind of like, you know, prepared for it all, right? I do feel from that perspective, well prepared for homeschool. Although if you're watching this video and you've been homeschooling your children, then you know that nothing except for the actual experience of homeschooling can prepare you for what homeschooling is and all of the challenges that it brings. Ooh, number 4. Okay, I'm really gonna like flex my skills here, see if I can answer this in an interesting way off the cuff. Number 4, question number 4. What makes your perspective unique? Okay, I'm gonna say 2 things that really make my perspective unique. Number 1 was my experience as a public education teacher, in public education. Not just because I taught in a public school. Lots of homeschool moms have done that. But it was really because I was a true believer in the public system, right? That was where I first saw myself being for the rest of my life, because I was always taught from the time I was born that education heals all wounds, that education is the answer to the world's problems, right? And I still believe that to be true, but I don't always believe that answer, that solution is going to be found in the bureaucracy of public education. So I definitely know that my perspective is fostered on a love of learning and almost, I don't want to say like being burned by the public education system, but to a degree that is true. Now, I still love public education and I believe in what it can be and what it can do. I just don't have the time or energy to, fix it myself. I'll tell you that right now. The other thing that I think makes my perspective a bit unique is that actually until this past spring, we were homesteaders. We've made a move in the last year, but prior to that, for 3 years, we were homesteading. We were milking the goats and collecting the eggs and raising the chickens and slaughtering the turkeys and growing the garden and canning and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So if it really comes to a can-do, do-it-yourself attitude, I'm your girl, okay? But also having the strength to go, not for me, and pivoting and moving on, which I love that homeschool allows us to do. So does that answer the question? Like, why is my perspective unique? That, and I'm also interested in what everyone else's perspective is, because I think everything in the world is absolutely fascinating. You just got to drill down a little bit, and that's people too. So, Next question. Okay, question number 5. Do you work while homeschooling? Thank goodness, no. Unless you count making Instagram reels, making these videos, and just honestly being a stay-at-home mom work, which it is a lot of work, labor, but I do not work in terms of having a job that brings in an income. I am very, very, very grateful that that is not our situation. Now, do the ends meet? Yes, but barely. Okay. So I am looking into avenues that could bring in a potential like second income stream. So for all of you homeschool parents out there who are working, like that's me like tipping my metaphorical hat to you guys, because that's just amazing. What else is on here? Okay, question number 6. What is your homeschool schedule like year, week, day? Well, like I said, we are on a block schedule, so we stick to our core curriculum, our core courses, like an every other day routine. So we don't do science every day, we don't do math every day, but instead we break it up. From there, we're usually those kind of people that gets our homeschool done mid-morning to maybe a little bit after lunch, and then everything else is about pursuing your dreams or just having free time to let the kids do what they need to do or that they want to do. But that doesn't mean that it's just like unhinged time, that it's more or less like we are helping them find the things that they want to spend their time doing, kind of like fostering that nurturing environment. But besides that, like every day's different. Okay, I just got to be willing to roll with the punches because I've got 2 strong-willed gals. So we are definitely more of a rhythm, routine kind of people, and not so much a hard and fast schedule. Next question. What is your favorite subject to teach? And what is your least favorite subject to teach? Okay, my absolute favorite subject to teach is history. Duh, like that wasn't a difficult one if you know me. Luckily, it's my daughter's favorite. I think that's because my passion, bleeds onto her. As of now, I don't really have a least favorite subject. Maybe math, which I don't even mind. I enjoy teaching math, but it isn't something that I can just teach by the seat of my pants, which I sometimes enjoy doing, but math isn't a subject that allows me to do that. So I'm going to say math, but it's like asterisk mark. I like them all. Okay. What skill or trait is your strength in homeschool, and what is your weakness? Oh, okay. What is my skill? I would say that my skill in homeschool is my humility. Like, hear me out on this. And this was true whenever I was a teacher as well. I'm not afraid to say that like something isn't working and we need to pivot and try something new. So even if I think, oh man, I created this awesome lesson plan and it's just not hitting with the kids, I am able to go, oh man, I created this awesome lesson plan. but not for these kids, and finding something new. So the ability to pivot and roll with the punches in that regard would certainly be like my strength. My weakness, I think it's sad that it's way easier for me to be like, here's my weaknesses. My weakness is definitely kind of overcoming that perfectionism gene that is so deeply entrenched in who I am. But I would probably say that that is a huge weakness for me, because sometimes it can be really hard for me to focus or move on with homeschool or move through our day if my environment doesn't feel just right. And sometimes I don't want to try things unless I know that I could be really, really, really good at them. And I don't want to pass that skill on. So I think I do a pretty good job of being a recovering perfectionist, but that doesn't mean that that isn't my weakness. Also, I don't really like playing creative games. You want to craft? I gotcha. I'm there, girl. I'm your lady. Glue, stick, and glitter? Let's go. But like sitting down and playing with like Hatchimals endlessly, not for me. So weakness. Next question. Okay. We got 2 more questions, by the way. Question number 9. What are 2 things you wish you knew when you started? Ooh, okay. 2 things that I wish I knew before I started. That number 1 is that sometimes homeschooling is just hard and it's a struggle. Sometimes it's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, but that doesn't take away from its beauty and from its value. Not every single day is going to be like some Charlotte Mason dream, right? Or a Mary Cassatt painting. Sometimes your kid's going to tell you that they don't like what's happening, and that's tough to hear. And I wish I knew that, I think, but I wish that I had more fully embraced that truth before homeschooling. The next thing that I would say I wish I knew, I wish I knew that not all homeschool communities are going to be my homeschool community. Or if I'm giving you advice, not all homeschool communities are going to be your homeschool communities. And if you're a secular homeschooler, you probably already know that. But it also means that, like, you know, when you start this journey, you are going to meet home educators who are very confident in the way that they are approaching things. It might make you question what you're doing, but in the long run, like, what works for them isn't always going to work for you, and that's okay. And I wish I knew that. What works for other people may not work for you, and that's okay. How is that? Is that a good answer? I want to be like Miss America over here, like getting interviewed. I love being interviewed. It's like one of my favorite things. I don't know. Weird? I love it. Okay, next and last question. Let's see. Okay. What piece of shareable advice is on your homeschool motivational poster? Y'all, this one is so easy for me. If you are a subscriber, if you have like watched my videos before, then you know what I'm gonna say already as my homeschool motivational piece, which was like, is it perfect? No, baby. And it was never gonna be. But is it done? Yeah, for today, it is. This video is not done. That's just like my motivational poster quote. Basically meaning that better done than perfect, okay? We're letting go of those perfectionist tendencies. You guys, this was so much fun. Like, I want to do this more often. Maybe I need to make like a Q&A video where you guys write to me and I just like blindly respond. Like, oh, except for some of you perverts out there, I'm sure. God. But anyways, I had so much fun making this video. Don't forget to check out Shauna. I hope you guys find so many other creators that you love, that you like. And if you're new around these parts, think about subscribing, sticking around. If anything you saw here was something you're like, yeah, I'd like to see more of that, well then, you know, come on in, friend. The gate is open wide. That's from one of my favorite podcasts. Anyways, so you know what I'm going to say now, don't ya? Is it perfect? No, baby, but it was never gonna be. But is it done for today, for this collaboration? It is. So until next time, my name is Megan. Goodbye.